Hi everybody, my name is Katie. Nice to meet you all. I work with an organization called Waypoint Adventure. We are based in Lexington, Massachusetts, and we run programming all around the kind of Eastern Massachusetts, Greater Boston area for individuals with a variety of disability profiles. We were happy to be able to utilize some of our grant funding through the Pathways to Friendship grant to run some programming for our Leaders in Training alumni. And I'll talk a little bit more about who those people are and what we did. So a little bit of background about Waypoint. We, again, as I said, are an adaptive outdoor education nonprofit. We challenge people with disabilities to discovering their purpose, talents, and strengths through the transforming power of adventure. One of the places that I feel most at home is when I'm outside, and I just really feel such a gift to be able to bring that to a wide variety of people. So we facilitate a variety of experiential education programs for children as young as 3 years old all the way to older adults with a variety of disability profiles, and we run programming year-round throughout summer, fall, winter, and spring for community people, individuals in the community, as well as existing groups for schools, group homes, or other organizations. Some of the type of experiences that we offer, we do a lot of hiking, as well as indoor and outdoor rock climbing. We're just heading into our tandem cycling season. Finally, we've got good enough weather for that. We do backpacking and overnight trips, which I'll talk a little bit more about, but specifically what we did with this group, as well as some kayaking, both indoors and outdoors. Yes, you can kayak in a pool. We do some canoeing, snowshoeing, and cross-country skiing in the wintertime. We also, with this group, got to do rope sports, as well as a lot of team building activities. So the group that we worked with specifically with this grant was our Leaders in Training alumni. So our Leaders in Training program is an annual cohort that we bring together of young adults with a variety of disability profiles. And it's an adventure learning and leadership development program for young adults with disabilities between the ages of roughly 18 to 28. So we're really trying to kind of capture that transition age youth group. They participate in monthly adventures together with us as a cohort of peers from May through November of each year. So we actually just ran our first cohort of the 2025, our first program for the 2025 cohort past Saturday. We focus with them on developing leadership, communication, self-advocacy, as well as some fun adventure skills. We've had 6 cohorts of LITs graduate from the program. So our first one was back in 2017, a little break for COVID there. And then we've had 3 post-COVID, and this is our 4th. As I said, we started our 7th cohort this May, and all of the individuals who joined us on this retreat program were alumni of the LIT program. So to talk a little bit more about what we did, our LITs are really often reaching out to us looking for more opportunities to connect, reconnect with people from their cohort as well as other LITs. A lot of people in this group have really similar interests and experiences, as well as we wanted to offer additional opportunities for them to, as we talked about, connect with peers without disabilities. And so that's why we brought together this group. So who joined us? We had 9 Leaders in Training alumni, 4 women and 5 men, all aged roughly 23 to 33 years old. And we have representation across all 6 of our past LIT cohorts, which was really exciting. Some people who we haven't seen out in a really long time joined us on this program. Several individuals in this group live at the same network of group homes, so they were familiar with each other or might have known each other through different things, but most of them did not know each other from outside of Waypoint programming. We also brought along 8 non-disabled or didn't identify as disabled peers, 4 women and 4 men aged 23 to 37. This was the first Waypoint program for 3 of these individuals, which was super exciting for them to jump into kind of a bigger program with us for their first one. And then others come out with us with varying frequency on programming. Where did we go? We went to a place called the Brown Center for Innovative Learning. They are affiliated with the University of New Hampshire, and they're located in Durham. They do a lot of programming with school groups, and they're very interested in learning about adaptive and kind of expanding what they offer as far as accessibility goes. But it was actually a fun experience for me to really get to work collaboratively with them to make sure that the programming that we offered for this group was accessible. So as you can see, we had access to this awesome yurt structure here that we got to spend the night in, which was super exciting. There may or may not have been a nice 4 a.m. wake up because when one person wakes up, everyone wakes up, and we just were so excited to all be together that we were up for the day at 4 a.m. As well as some race course activities that we got to do with everybody. So some activity highlights, and to speak of some challenges, not only the 4 a.m. wake up, but as you can see, we were contending with some lovely New England in the spring weather, but we pushed through. We had a great time despite that. So we got to do a lot of team building games and initiatives, as well as some low ropes elements. Everyone got to participate in a high ranks course activity. Everyone prepared and shared a couple of meals together outside. We connected around a campfire in the evening, spent the evening overnight in a yurt, and then went on a hike the following morning. So here's some pictures of us doing the low ropes activity. We've got Dylan here on the course with Rachel and Tatiana and Stevenson supporting him. Got this awesome picture here of Denzel and Ryan, who had never met each other before but had a really awesome connection. And then this is a hike the following morning that we went on at a really beautiful area right along the coast in New Hampshire. Here's us inside of the yurt doing some team building activities when we first got there. This is a setup for the high-ranks activity that we did. It was really awesome collaborative activity. Everyone kind of pulled together on the rope to pull the individual up into the air. And then we also prepared some food over and around a fire. Some friendship highlights through the shared experiences and challenges that people faced on this trip. Like I said, some of which were unavoidable, things like the weather. And so some individuals, as I said, were familiar with each other, and they all kind of had varying levels of engagement with Waypoint. Some of them come out with us really often, and some we haven't seen in a couple of years, so it was awesome for them to come out with us. We saw some awesome friendships between people with disabilities, as well as some great connections between those with and without disabilities. So here is Oscar. He is one of our program coordinators at Waypoint, with Rachel and Tatiana, who had a really awesome connection. They had never met before, and they were just immediately thick as thieves, so it was great to see that connection with them. Another awesome picture of Denzel and Ryan. They're just very photogenic. All of these pictures that they have are awesome, as well as an individual kind of group here. People who, some of these individuals live in a similar network of group homes, but a lot of them do not, so it was awesome to see them connect. And then I've got some awesome photos here of Jenna, again with Denzel, so a nice connection. Jenna had never been out on a program with us before, and she was friends with one of our more regular volunteers, so they brought her out, which was awesome, and she had a really great time. Curtis, who I've worked with in the past up at New England Disabled Sports, when he moved down to the Boston area, I was like, you gotta come out with us. So it was awesome to see him connect with some people, as well as Andrea, who comes out and volunteers with us super frequently, and enjoy this experience so much that she's decided to volunteer for our next LIT cohort. So what's next? We actually have an LIT alumni reunion program happening this Sunday. We're going to be doing some trail cleanup and stewardship at Belle Isle Marsh with the Mystic River Watershed Association. And beyond, we've got some other really awesome and exciting opportunities coming up, both recreation, but then also some additional kind of volunteering and kind of stewardship opportunities through the LIT alumni, as well as ongoing connections between individuals on programs. A lot of these people have already signed up for additional programs and are, continuing to build those connections with the familiar faces that they met. And here's an awesome picture of us finishing our hike. Thank you.